Hi PBS dancers, here's installment 2 of Tune Up Your Turnout. And for today you're going to need, in addition to your mat, something with a little bit of cushion that's elevated off the floor by about a foot or two. I'm using this chair that has a nice soft upholstered top. You could use a couch, you could use maybe even a low bed, but we're going to be pressing our feet against this, and it's going to be taking all our body weight, so you want it to have a little bit of give. So let's come down to our mat. Bring your chair on over. Okay, so set your chair up at the end of your mat, and we'll start lying down on our backs. Placing our ankles on the chair, we're going to begin with our feet in parallel, finding a neutral spine, and flex through the feet. I'm lifting my hips up and lowering down. Lifting up and lowering down. So we're just working in parallel here, trying to make sure that we keep really long through the backs of our legs. So almost imagine that there's a river of energy that's flowing from your hips down and out through your heels. And down, and lift. Now this time holding up, we're going to flex through those feet, keeping the hips high, turning out the legs, and then coming back to parallel. So externally rotating, back to parallel. Turning out, and parallel. Make sure that you don't let the hips drop as you turn out here. And parallel. Turn out, really feeling it right from the tops of those thighs. And parallel. Turn out. Parallel. Turn out. Long low backs, parallel, and lower down. Okay, so just give yourself a little shake out. Do what feels good. Readjust if you need. Now we're going to keep the feet flexed and turn out to start. Hips are down. And lifting up and turn out in first. Come into parallel. Turn back out to first. And lower. So engaging from underneath the seat to lift, parallel, turning out from the tops of the thighs, lower down. And lift, parallel, turning out, lower down, and hips come up, back to parallel, really spinning inner thighs forward, lower down. Lift up, parallel, turn out, keeping the hips high, hamstrings engaged, lower down. I'm starting to feel it here. Parallel. Really make sure that you keep a long, low back as you're lifting those hips up. A little stretch out. I'm just giving a quick release for my hamstrings. Other leg. Shake it out. Do. So now we're going to keep our feet stretched. So really long toes, long legs, energy streaming out those feet, keeping them pointed as we lift, engaging the seat, and lower down. So I'm just in parallel here as my hips elevate and lower. Lifting up, lower down, and lift, and long low backs, core engaged. Draw that belly button into your spine. Lift and lower, and lift and lower. Little shake out. I'm keeping my hands on my hips here, but you can also have them on the floor for a little bit extra support. Keeping the feet stretched, and now turning out. So turned out first with feet fully pointed, backs of the seat engaged to lift the pelvis up. I'm trying to keep that little triangle between pubic bone, and hip bone, drawing together and in. So I'm engaging those low abdominals as we lift up and lower down. Lift and lower and lift and lower and lift. Long backs of legs, lower, maintaining that turnout throughout the whole leg, from the top of the thigh, spinning down, calves spinning forward, heels spinning up towards the ceiling. Okay, little rest. Extending my right leg up. I'm just circling the ankle in one direction. And then go the opposite way. Switching legs. So you'll notice, as compared to our first turnout video, this one you'll really start to feel it more in the hamstrings as well as in those deep rotators in the back of your seat. It's really going to help us keep forward on our standing leg when we're taking classwork, so making sure that we're not sinking our weight back into our heel, really keeping that turnout active on the leg that we're standing on once we get back to the bar. Okay, let's place those feet back on the chair. This time, both legs are turned out and we're coming into a fifth position with feet stretched. Hips lift, extend to a tendu devant. Do not let that hip drop as you reach up and lower, and hips come down. So first, hips lift, extend to tendu, back to tendu, hips steady, and lower down. So an easier version would be to have my hands placed on the floor, out to my sides as I'm taking this bridge. Really think long and away with that tenduing leg as you extend up. Keep it long, and then imagine that your toes are drawing a big arc just beyond the reach of those toes. And up. I'm really starting to feel it here. Lift, and back to fifth. Keep those hips high. It's really hard to do when you're on one leg. And shake it out. Switching legs. Left leg is on top. Engaging turnout to start. And lifting in that turned out fifth. Extend tendu devant, long through that left leg. Increase the turnout as you come back to fifth. Hips lower. And up. And tendu. Long reach away. Keep those hips high, 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 high. Lower down. And starting from right underneath that seat, right where your bodysuit would meet your tights, feeling the lift of the hips happen from those turnout muscles. Do not let the hips drop as you come onto one leg. Even if the tendu's not very high, try to keep that hip the same height that you established at the beginning. Tendu, back to fifth, and lower. And shake it out. Shake, 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 senora. Shake your body line. And I'm just pedaling my feet here. Grab a hold of your right thigh, pull it in towards your chest, extend that left leg long and straight, and stretching that right leg up towards the ceiling. I love when I circle my ankle, I feel my hamstrings stretch in sort of different compartments. So whether I'm circling that ankle inwards or outwards. Take that right knee, cross it over, come into a big twist. Extend your right arm and look over your right shoulder as that knee falls towards the floor. Grab a hold of your left thigh, pull it in close. Try to keep that thigh as close as you can as you extend the leg. Circle the ankle. How's your neck doing? Is it relaxed? Is your face all squidging up? Try to let that face and neck relax too. Right hand to left knee, cross that left knee over your body. And let's come into a big twist, looking out over my left extended arm. Whew. So now let's stretch out that seat. We're going to come into our fire log pose. So I'm taking my right leg, is that my right leg? Yes, that's my right leg, crossing it over my left shin. My ankle is all the way over on the other side of my left knee. I'm going to sit up tall and then reach a little bit forward. So I'm pretty tight here, and you can see that right knee is not falling right down on my left ankle. That's perfectly okay. I'm definitely feeling this stretch. Let's inhale and look up, and exhale and curve our spine down. So inhale, imagine your spine lengthening, space between each vertebrae as you look up, and whew, curve over. Inhale, reach away, long crown of that head coming up and forward, and soften down. And inhale, long spine. So make sure as you're taking the stretch that you want to feel your tailbone is coming up towards your head as you're looking up. So I'm just trying not to collapse into my low back, round through my low back too much. Let's switch legs. Unfurl. Ooh, an extra shake. And cross that left shin over my right. Foot is going to be hanging off my right knee so that my foot isn't sickled. Inhale to lengthen my spine tall. Whew. Exhale, fold forward. You can reach right for the floor here if that's accessible to you, but I like reaching for the chair. Just lets my shoulders, my neck just really be heavy. Inhale, looking up, long spine, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, expanding the space between each vertebrae. Imagine the crown of your head and your tailbone coming together in this kind of big arcing shape behind your back body. Inhale, look up. So here my tailbone, I'm imagining, is spinning up towards my head, creating that big continuous stream of energy in a circle behind me. Exhale, fold over. And that's it. We're done. Miss you all.